Hi, so currently I'm playing The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker for the Nintendo Wii U. It's a really beautiful looking game, and it's the first time I've been able to actually open it and try it out. Um, I played it a lot on the GameCube when it first came out, and since then I've actually replayed it a couple of times, but this is the first time I'm going to be able to play this on a very nice HD screen. And part of me has kind of forgotten what I was supposed to do. It's been a long time since I played this, but it looks great. I've been really backlogged with games like Batman Arkham Origins, Pokemon. I just finished New Super Mario Brothers U, because I wanted to kind of prepare myself for the new Mario game coming out on Friday, November 22nd. To me, that's going to be the big Mario and Zelda game that I'm really excited to play. The reason why I wanted to make this video, though, is because I wanted to talk about the different ways that I guess people think about reviewing games, and I guess the ideal of making a subjective opinion on the quality of a game, and whether you think it's really good or not, and whether you think it's worth purchasing. In my opinion, I have 5 different criteria that I look at, and I'm going to try to talk about my 5 criteria right now, if I can remember them. The first criteria that I look at is graphics, the aesthetics, the sound quality, basically how well does the game look and how well does it appeal to you as like someone who's playing this game. For me, Zelda, with its fantasy elements, the great cartoonish expression, makes Wind Waker easily one of my favorite 3D Zelda games. And I completely ignored that, but it's pretty enjoyable, basically. If you enjoy the sound and the graphics of a game, or if you're able to watch gameplay videos and see like how the game looks, then that's a great way to decide whether you actually want to play the game or not, because it's a lot different to play the game than it is to actually just watch it or listen to it or just listen to the soundtrack. That leads on to the second thing that I look at, which is gameplay. How well does the game control in your hands while you're playing a game? For example, in Zelda right now I'm learning how to use a sword. I found the controls really easy to utilize. It's pretty straightforward. And I completely ignored that. The other thing that I like to look at is the controls. So while I'm constantly pressing B, I am getting the hang of the sword controls all over again. To be honest, it's the first time that I've been able to play on a Wii U gamepad, which feels a lot different from the GameCube controller. I don't know if it's necessarily for better or for worse. They certainly have their advantages, though. The fourth thing that I look at is the replayability of a game. How much of the game do you want to keep playing over and over again? And I've always found that the longer a game, the more that you enjoy actually playing it, the better I think the game overall is. Like, I know there are plenty of great long, like 50-hour plus JRPGs, but if part of it is so boring, then I would rate it lower than a game that's only 10 hours long, but is like absolutely fantastic to play throughout. And that's just one of my opinions on what great games can be. Finally, the fifth thing that I look at is basically the value of a game. Everyone knows that games nowadays, like the ones that are like, I guess, really popular, the ones with really big budgets and a lot of marketing behind them, are usually on average about $60, $50, $40, while the downloadable, like digitally distributed games are usually maybe like $10, $15, maybe $30. And of course that goes all the way down to iPhone and Android games, which are usually about $1 up to maybe like $5 or $7. I look at the value of a game because you're basically paying hard-earned money to be able to play these games, and it's important to think that you're getting your money's worth. So I always look at how much games cost, what kind of game they are in terms of being a AAA title, digital, or like independent, or kind of like a simple iPhone or Facebook game, and I kind of rate games differently accordingly. Because, for example, if you take a game that's like only $1 that has one simple gameplay element, for example, an iOS game that I really enjoyed was called Super Hexagon. You're only using 2 touches to move a triangle back and forth and trying to get through as much of the level as you can. But if you compare that to a AAA game, like for example this game, Wind Waker, or the new Tomb Raider game that came out this year in March, then people are probably going to insist that Tomb Raider is the better game. But in my opinion, I really enjoyed the arcade, frantic, hectic, adrenaline-filled rush of trying to move the little triangle up and down. So I take a look at the game kind of at face value. If it does what it can and does what it does really, really well, then I'm going to rate it higher than a game that can do a lot of things but not necessarily all the best. Those are my opinions on video game reviews. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or message me or leave a comment or whatever. Honestly, I'm not really good at this whole discussion thing. This is probably the first and longest crazy commentary I've had to do while actually playing a video game. I can see why a lot of people would find it really hard to be able to control and play at the same time and talk about stuff while thinking about it. I don't really have a script or anything, and I don't even remember what I'm supposed to do at this point. But in the end, yeah, just feel free to give me a comment or say your own opinion or talk about what you liked about the idea of game reviews in general. My name is Bennett, and my YouTube profile used to be called The Sifu Abides. That's also my Twitter profile. You can just look at my name, Bennett, L-A-I, and just look for me there. Have a good night.